Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Good morning. It's good to see you all. Normally I'd be at work today, but due to unforeseen circumstances. But first off, I want to say thank you all for your well wishes. The surgery was a success on my carpal tunnel, so thank you so much for, so everybody can see online I had that. But nope, surgery was successful and I appreciate the well wishes. So with that, I call the meeting to order on a monsoon of a rainy morning here in Lockport. Yes, I agree, and it gets rid of the pollen too, so we don't have to sneeze all day today. But I would like to invite up on Zoom is Sylvia, who is our inspiration. Sylvia,
Morning.
as she's eating.
I know, as I'm eating breakfast. My inspiration for everyone this morning is we all do good work, important work. Instilled in us gratitude for the community, for this community, and for the good work that we do together. Help us see in all of us as students and leaders. Let's continue this throughout our day. Amen.
Amen. Now everybody
And
sit down.
also, I'm general evaluator this morning, so
Oh,
I'll just kind of roll into that before we do the pledge. I will be evaluating the Toastmaster and the evaluators.
all right. Thank you so much. And we have a guest this morning, don't we, David? Oh, Dave, come up here to the microphone so everybody can hear you on Zoom, and you can come up too, sir, so everybody can see you.
No, he was trying to get out the door. This is Jim Sacco. He is a past Toastmaster. He shared with me that when his son was born 25 years ago is more or less when he stopped. But I pointed out that he's always welcome here, and he just wanted to come in and say hello and look around. I want to point out that now we are on Zoom. We have guests from North Carolina. We have a guest from Beijing, China.
Margot Sue.
Oh, you see Margot Sue as well? Then you're all set.
Hi, Margot. Good, thank
Welcome.
you.
You want to say anything?
Uh,
Don't be shy.
but don't forget, you're making you're taking a risk giving me the microphone. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah.
We already
good.
gave it to Eric.
Yeah, I always got the red signal whenever I spoke. But thank you. Good to see you all again. I was a member of the Lockport PM Toastmasters when I moved here in '97 until they disbanded. I think it was about 2000. And I told them, well, my son is born this year. He's my fourth child. I'm gonna give up, and nobody else wanted to take over. I was the president then, but it was good. I do appreciate this group. I probably would come back sometime in September. See this young lady back here. I know she was in Girl Scouts with my yes, with my daughter Andrea, and my wife Marianne was your come here. Yes, your dad. Yes, your dad knows me from DeSales. All the auctions and rat cash raffles and what have you. So yes, yeah. So I will someday. But I quit Toastmasters and I got on the Pendleton Planning Board. I chaired the Democrat Committee. I chaired the Democrat Club. I was also the Master Plan Committee for Pendleton. And then I was a Boy Scout leader, a Cub Scout leader. And that was probably the greatest thing I ever did. It was fun doing that. And a lot of that was right after Toastmasters. And I really appreciate that. So I could see some point coming back. And I'm going to cut it short now. Believe it or not, I'm not good at this. So I'll.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you, Eric.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave. Oh, yeah. I left as an ATM silver.
Ooh. Thank you. All right. Where were we? Push the flag. Thanks, Gerald. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Gerald, for the reminder. Now, as we proceed with our meeting this morning, I would like to invite up our District 65 Director, Avis Brody. Avis is going to be installing our new officers for the upcoming term, which starts next week. So help me welcome Avis to the lectern.
Gavel.
Yes, I do. You're right there.
Awesome.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. President. We can say that for another couple of days. Outgoing, I'm just going to jump right into this given time because I've got a 3-page script. Okay. Outgoing club officers, please stand. Those who have a term in 2024, 2025. I see 3 people. Oh, 4 people. Outgoing. Going out. Thank you for the work that you have done this year and for the work that you will do up until June 30th, because yeah, it's not over yet. As of June 30th, you are discharged from all further duties and responsibilities as officers of AM Lockport Toastmasters Club. Please be seated. Incoming officers, I'm going to call your name one by one, and I'd like you to please come up now and stand in the following order to the right of the lectern, and that would be this right. Darcy Colby. Mike Licata. Maggie Craig. Mary Cavanero. Martin Johnson. Kate Orr. And Joe Budnick. I am here to install the officers of AM Lockport Toastmasters Club and to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong and dedicated to helping people from all walks of life to speak in an effective manner, to listen with sensitivity, and to think creatively. I will ask each officer to hold the gavel as a symbol of leadership as I briefly describe the challenges he or she must meet and the responsibilities he or she must fulfill. Darcy Colby, as Sergeant at Arms, you are responsible for club property management, meeting room preparation, and hospitality. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability? Please, yes, pass the gavel and walk to the end of the row. Perfect. Mike Licata, as treasurer, you're responsible for club financial policies, procedures, and controls. You will receive and disperse with the approval of this club any club funds, pay to Toastmasters International all financial obligations of the club as they come due, and keep an accurate account of all transactions. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability? Maggie Craig. As Vice President of Public Relations, you're responsible for developing. Yes, you are.
I'm Vice President.
Oh my gosh, I skipped a line. Yes, Mary. How did I do that? I apologize. Hey, no Toastmaster is perfect. That's why we keep coming back. Ooh. What did I do? Secretary. Yeah, I was supposed to read the secretary next. I just read the wrong thing. Yeah. Take 3. Yeah. Maggie, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the lectern. As secretary, you are responsible for club records and correspondence. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability? I will. Thank you.
Now you can give it to me.
Good morning, Mary. As Vice President of Public Relations, you're responsible for developing and directing a publicity program that informs individual members and the general public about Toastmasters International. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you. Martin Johnson, as Vice President of Membership, you're responsible for planning, organizing, and directing a program that ensures individual membership retention and growth in club individual membership. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Excellent. Kate Orr, as Vice President of Education, you are responsible for planning, organizing, and directing a club program which meets the educational needs of the individual members. Will you perform your duties to the best of your ability?
Will.
Joe Budnack, you have been elected as the president of AM Lockport Toastmasters Club. You are its chief executive officer. You are expected to preside at all club meetings and at all regular and special meetings of your executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It's also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please accept the gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to office. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team as well as its leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It is an emotional force rooted in, in the feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members, with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone is proud. Will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform your duties to the best of your abilities?
I will.
It is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed in the office to which they were elected. Will all the members please stand? The growth and development of the Toastmasters program in AM Lockport Toastmasters Club depends largely upon the actions of this group. On your honor as men and women of Toastmasters, do you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year? You may be seated. Will the newly installed club president and immediate do we have pins? Okay, never mind. I was going to ask you to come up and get your pin, but come on up. Okay. So I was going to ask you to offer the president's pin to Joe, but I don't know.
I can shake hands.
Yeah, shake hands.
Congratulations.
As the new president, you get to address the club. Would you like to do that?
Okay.
All right. The new president will now address the club. Everyone else may be seated. Thank you so much. Oh, quick picture. No. It would be, I was gonna have them be in order. Right, so.
We can do it in order, which I think what you do, I don't know.
All right. You stay right there, guys. I'll stay right here.
All right, everybody smile.
Come over, Mary.
Oh, all right.
Someone has to tell
All
me.
right, a little bit over.
Get more friendly.
Get more friendly for all family here.
Friendly.
All right.
Get in the camera.
One.
Please.
Camera. I mean the other camera.
right, one more. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you. Uh, Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming out on this wet morning, but I think we needed a little rain considering the scorcher we had the last week. Hopefully it'll be a little more comfortable in the school today where I'm working. So I would like to introduce our Toastmaster this morning, Nancy Ferry.
What a great way to start our morning, an installation of officers and new blood. Well, we're all the same people, but we just have different roles. So we'll begin with a toast to our new officers, a wonderful year with lots of support and maybe some new ideas. Hear, hear. Our theme today is hobbies. And I really wondered why I picked that. And then I remembered I started a new hobby. And it was thanks to Jill. Jill came in and showed us how to quilt and everything. And I got all excited about it. It took me a couple years to get excited about it too, or think that I really could do it. And I've always been a seamstress. So the sewing part was easy, but the other things were a little complicated. So I'm making a jacket. I just have to show it off. My favorite color is fall. It's a lot of work, yes. Anyway, and I obsess, so I keep moving everything around and I say, okay, this is a good square. No, maybe I should put and it doesn't help to obsess because it's all gonna look beautiful anyway. So I would like to invite our Master and word of the day master, Kate Orr. Please share a word and what the Master's role is.
Thank you, Nancy. We have done the WAG Master the last many months when our attendance was lower. Now we're kind of splitting it up. I'm your WA Master today. I'll keep track of your ahs, ums, pregnant pauses. And I always have words on deck. I've got dozens of words ready. That doesn't mean that I prepared it for here. Maybe I'll do that now and hang it. As I often do, multiple words. Today's words are opposites. Integration and disintegration. Integration, bringing together different elements to create a more complete and cohesive entity. To integrate or integration, any variation. Disintegration, when something disintegrates, it loses cohesion or strength. So please use integration or disintegration or integrate or disintegrate as you can today. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kate. And let's not let anything here as we go through the morning disintegrate. Let's keep our momentum high. And saying that, we're going to ask Darcy to come up and let us know what it is to be a grammarian this morning. You're going to wear out your shoes today.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. It's hard to know, like, to be on deck when we don't have a agenda, but try to be on deck. So I'm your grammarian for today, and looking for good and bad uses of the English language. And we know that when we don't use good grammar, our speeches disintegrate.
Thank you, Darcy. And thank you for your flexibility this this day. Our general evaluator, let's not forget our general evaluator, Sylvia Baptiste. Would you please share with us what you will be looking for today and what your report will be about when you come up? Sylvia Baptiste.
Well, Nancy, this morning I doing double duty, as you said earlier. I will be evaluating you, the Toastmaster, and the 3 evaluators. And I'll help if you need to call on reports at the end, or you may do it yourself. We could decide that later. Thank you.
I've already decided. You're on. Our quote master this morning, Joe Budnick.
Thank you. Hobbies. No one is really happy or safe without a hobby. And hobbies are a great distraction from the worries and troubles that plague daily living. And when your life brings you down, your hobbies bring you up. Good luck to all our speakers.
And our timer this morning is Steve Smith. What will you be timing and what are the times?
Thank you. Our time is important to all of us, so I'm going to be timing the 3 main time. That's what I wanted. Thank you, sir. I was going to ask where does it got to. I don't know that. I don't know where this stuff is. Anyway, table topics is 1.5 to 2 minutes with a 15-second buffer. Most speeches are 5 to 7 minutes with a 30-second buffer. Evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes with a 30-second buffer. And I will be timing all of them because as I started to say, our time is important to all of us. So I'm going to quit wasting time and get out of here. Thank you. Yeah.
And Mary Cavanero, I believe you have a quiz for us at the end of the meeting. Please tell us what you'll be looking for.
I'll be testing your listening skills at the end of the meeting and report back.
Speaking of quiz master, I ran into Larry McKenzie the other day, and he's doing great. And he's at the campsite that we just bought a place at, and he runs game nights and those talk show kind of thing. Anyway, I begged him to come back. He said he might someday. Our table topics. Yes, it's time for table topics. And Mike Licata. Please tell us.
Thank you, Nancy. So a big part of Toastmasters is extemporaneously speaking. So I will first make the announcement of everyone that is either in the room or on Zoom this morning. In the room, we have Eric Schneider, Beth Banks, Len Thornton, Darcy Colby, Nancy Ferry, Mary Cavanero, Kate Orr, Carol Halstead, Gerald Stevens, Joe Budnick, Marty Johnson, Maggie Craig, Steve Smith, Joe Waring, myself, Dave Licata, and Yang. On Zoom, we have Sylvia, Phil Russell, Margot Bittner, David Jones, Tracy Farrell, and our guests this morning were Avis and Jim. I know what I corrected myself. It's Avis. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Nancy, I have to thank you for this theme. When I was switching roles, I immediately jumped on table topics because this is such an easy theme to talk about. We all have hobbies. Joe's right. It's important to have hobbies. I think I'm also incredibly fortunate. I'm one of the few people that I know that actually makes money on their hobbies because I get paid to go to the ballpark. So I will start out in Zoomland with David Jones because I think we have Izzy. He jumped in. Okay, sorry about that, David. With that, I will call on Dr. Stevens then. What hobbies do you have? Is there any opportunities do you foresee monetizing your hobbies or anything else? I don't know.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. How are you doing this fine morning? I'm doing okay. So hobbies, I have a lot of hobbies. My favorite one is travel. You've probably heard that in a few speeches. Some of you are the veteran Toastmasters. The newer ones, not so much. I did partake in my favorite hobby this past weekend. I went to Erie. It's not far, but my sister is there, so I got to see her and brought my granddaughter to the Erie Zoo. And I walked around there for 2 hours. Probably not the best idea with a hobbling knee, I'm just going to say. And I did pay for that, my disintegrating knee, actually. So we're going to get that checked soon. And I plan to travel to big national parks guy. Some of you know that. I plan to travel to Voyageurs National Park this year, and it's the top of Minnesota. So long-term goal promoted by Kate. Thank you so much. Trying to get to all of them one day, so I'm on my way. So it's a water park, so the land of 10,000 lakes is Minnesota. So I will take some tours with and see some fowl and whatnot. So it'll be quite a good time. I integrate other hobbies to make money. One of them is public speaking. I'm actually going to get paid to present on the 4th at Salvatore's for a chiropractic symposium we have. So I'll be presenting on chronic back pain and using my Toastmasters skills and my teaching skills as well, fellow teachers. I'll throw some of those in there to get the crowd involved, because who wants to hear someone drone on forever? Not any of you. And at this point, I will turn this back over to the Table Topics Master. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens, and good luck giving your seminar or your TED Talk or your speech. No, I mean, it's Admiral. And next I will go to Eric because he was gracious enough to volunteer. Eric, you have many hobbies and excited to hear about what you want to talk about this morning. Eric Schneider. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Fellow Toastmasters, yes, I have so many hobbies, as Mike said. I have a list, but I'm going to keep it short to about a couple. Favorite hobbies I can do is, first is here. I integrated all my time here because it's the best part of waking up every Thursday morning and seeing all your lovely faces, even though everybody's still waking up with a cup of coffee. Anyway, on the other side of that, I like to read. I have several books at home that I like to enjoy reading. One of it is a book called The Crystal Gavel. It's by Sue Cochran, whose brother was my English professor last fall, and sadly she passed away. But he finished out the memoir and he presented it last spring, and I'm still reading half the book about it. And when I'm done with it, I like to give it to any one of you who will want to read it. And it's, like I said, it's one of the nicest, well, not nicest, I'll take a step back. It's one of the most interesting and heartwarming book because it's basically a memoir of his sister's life. So, and on the other side of that, another hobby is running. This year, last month, marked 20 years, I started my first 5K. It was the Apple Blossom 5K. My time was 25 minutes and 1 second. And then after that, I think we went to McDonald's over on Wright's Corner. So I integrated that as part of a reward of doing such a good job. Anyway, but that's what I have. So thank you very much, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Eric. And now we'll call up Jill this morning. She has many hobbies. Jill, do you hope to monetize? I know you sold plants. You have such an impressive array of plants at your house. Would you like to monetize that? Would you like to turn that into something you could do full time?
Interesting. For the last several years, I've been on SSI, which is, if you don't know, supplemental security income. It's for the people who don't get disability income because they don't want to admit you're disabled. I'm not going to get into any of that, but I just switched to Social Security. They called me and said, you have to switch, or I got a letter saying it, and then I went through the 30-minute telephone queue to find out that, okay, I have an appointment now. So now I can actually make money if I want to. I couldn't with SSI. SSI is it's designed to hold you back. It's sad to say. Anyhow, not that I intend to actually make a true business out of my plant sales, but selling the elephant ears, and I also have done cannas and caladiums, caladiums are pretty floral, I mean not floral, leafy. And cannas are big flowers. But this year I've expanded into some perennials because people have been asking. So I'm going to have some heucheras, which are also known as corabels. And I'm going to have hostas actually for sale if they keep growing. So the weather this spring has been horrible. So thank you. I am integrating my hobbies into a business a little bit.
Thank you, Jill. And I will call up Kate Orr this morning. How did our words do, Madam Wordmaster?
Thank you, Mike. All three use the word.
Gerald used both. Good job, Gerald. Use both.
Thank you. Now I will call up our timer this morning, Steve Smith. Steve, how did we do on time?
We did very well. All three contestants qualified easily this morning.
Thank you very much. Mary will come around and collect our ballots, and I will turn everything, and then we'll have the poll online. And I will now turn everything over back to our Madam Toastmaster, Nancy. Thank you very much.
Mike? Oh, yes. I called you up so many times, Darcy. Our jester, what a great time for a jest this morning.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Okay, so here we go. I went online and looked for hobby jokes. My three favorite hobbies are eating, my family, and not using commas. That was my favorite too. One of my hobbies is time travel. I do it from time to time. Not as good, I know. A friend of mine has a hobby where she dresses up salmon in tiny outfits and then takes pictures of them. She says it's like shooting fish in apparel. That got a lot of groans. Okay, last one. I met a guy from the country a while back, and I think I'm in love. He's so kind and interesting. His name is Greg, and he's named after his father. He has a great family, lives on a farm, and has all sorts of cool hobbies. His parents are so kind when I first met them. The most interesting thing that I've learned about him recently is that he takes care of bees. Right when he told me that, I knew he was a keeper. Madam Toastmaster.
What a great interjection, though. I love it. I love it. Hobbies are more than just playing around and passing time. They really allow people to express a deep passion, personalities, and creativity. We need to learn to create things. We create speeches, we create all kinds of things here. And Jill, good example of creating gardens and flowers and hostas. I want to get some hostas from you if you're selling them. Okay, great, great, great. Hobbies can reduce stress, it's important to find new hobbies. Sometimes we get stuck in a hobby and it gets boring. Find new ones. A great way to explore something new about yourself. Hobbies contribute to our mental health as well. Some of the most popular hobbies. There's been a surge of baking and cooking. Anybody want to guess since when? COVID, right? Let's make the longest recipe we can find because there's nothing else to do today. Also, reading increased. Again, not much else to do. And also, reading can be like one of those escapes from reality. So it adds a dimension to our lives. Pets, the emotional support. Again, they increased during COVID. Saw a surge in a lot of different hobbies during COVID. Video gaming has increased tremendously. Overreading. Let's get on to I don't want to tie us up here. We've done a lot this morning. We have 3 speakers lined up, and we have 3 evaluators lined up. And our first evaluator is Beth Banks, and she will be evaluating Carol Ann Halstead. Would you please tell us what her speech will be about, what you know?
Well, before I say something about Carol Ann, I will tell you that one of my hobbies is gardening, as Jill's is. I truly wish that the weeds would disintegrate all on their own. For some reason, the deer in my backyard isn't eating everything. I guess the head doesn't come down far enough. I don't know. I have the honor today of evaluating Carol Ann. She is working from the presentation mastery pathway using descriptive language. Her time is 5 to 7 minutes. And her project title is 6th Month, 6 Memories. Carol Ann Halstead, 6th Month, 6 Memories. You're testing my ability to use. Thank you.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and office. The 6 month, 6 memories. Picture it. June 28th, 1965. We're in the unair conditioned auditorium of Niagara Falls High School, and I am graduating. We actually had 2 nights of graduation due to the fact that our class numbered about 600. And that night, with diploma in hand, you looked forward to endless possibilities for your life. June 18th, 1972. It was a weekend. On that Saturday, I had gone to university hospitals in Cleveland with the thought of possibly seeking employment out there. I had relatives in Cleveland and had grown familiar with the city. However, I came back early so that I could go to an event at the Keenan Arena. And what it was the first social event with a newly formed Lockport 20s club. As I walked in the door, I could hear everyone roller skating, and a gentleman caught my eye. He had a little longer hair, which was popular back then. He had a flowered shirt and he had jeans that were maroon and black striped. So he kind of stood out in the crowd. And I think I may have caught his eye a little because he ended up being my husband years later. Other Junes saw the graduations of our three daughters from Lockport High School, and two of our grandchildren have graduated from there. Speaking of grandchildren, we had our one and only grandson, who was born June 9th, 2001. And my husband was excited to welcome a boy to the family. In 2017, I had been diagnosed with a chronic form of lymphoma. No treatment was indicated. I was a patient at Roswell. However, I would have periodic CAT scans. And it was the CAT scan in June of 2022, which showed many enlarged lymph nodes, and I had fluid present in the abdomen. It was called ascites. It was just from the general things that were going on. So I had to, the next step was a PET scan. And in a PET scan, you're given a nuclear type injection, and areas such as quickly dividing cells, which is indicative of cancer, show up bright on a scan. And when we were shown the scan, it kind of lit up like the proverbial Christmas tree, which indicated that I had what they called metabolically active lymphoma, and my spleen lit up, and I had, and my bone marrow area lit up. But they assured me, we know what this is, we know how to treat it. It was called R-CHOP, was my chemotherapy, and I am happy to say that my last PET scan showed that there was no sign of active disease. And when I think of June, I think of the Rodgers and Hammerstein Carousel song. June is busting out all over. And when I think of that, I think of the flowers. I know we've had peonies and roses, and I know a neighbor had the hydrangeas, and there was purples and pinks and blues, and it just seemed like the flowers were busting out all over. And as we come to the end of June, days are already getting shorter. Enjoy the rest of it and enjoy your summer, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Our next evaluator is Dave Licata, and he will be evaluating Maggie Craig. Welcome up, Dave Licata. It's okay. You don't have to hurry. We're going. All right, Dave Licata.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, we almost had a guest. Well, Ava is, I guess. Ava. She has a sister named Hertz, but she tries harder. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that dad joke reinforcement. All right. Maggie is presenting a special from the level 2 presentation mastery pathway. The purpose of the speech is to deliver a speech with awareness of your intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine your use of gestures when delivering a speech. The length is 5 to 7 minutes, Steve. Your speech title is, so? Madam, oh, I'll go. It's always nice to evaluate somebody that you recruited. Thank you. Want the little stool?
Why did it? One moment before. I'm here to speak today, but I'm gonna sing it anyway, and I won't say or so. I'll just let that rhythm flow. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Have you ever noticed that when you sing, whether it's improvised or something that is written, those pesky little words, so, disappear. Today we're going to explore why that happens and how singing can actually help us become better public speakers. Even if you sing like I do, which is enthusiastically. So I would like to do an experiment. I would like you all to, you know what, we're just going to go up here. I'm going to ask you all to sing. No solos, don't worry, one line, that's it. Okay, so if everybody can sing with me, first line from the Star Spangled Banner. Okay? Oh, say, can you see? Now, if you feel comfortable, I'd like you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel the sensation in your body and in your head. Where do you feel it when you sing that line, or any line? Where do you feel it? So, if you will. Oh, say, can you see? Do you feel it in your frontal lobes? Do you feel maybe singing makes you relaxed? It's rhythmic. Okay, so now I need a brave volunteer. Beth, that was the best volunteering I've ever heard. Please, please come and join me at the lectern. You don't think we could fit together? Let's do it together. So Beth, I want you to just tell me what you had for dinner last night and briefly and how it was prepared.
What I had for dinner last night, something I shouldn't have had, but I did anyway. We went to Sunset Grill and I had their homemade chips with cheese and bacon on it. And it tasted very good. Probably not good for my body though.
Thank you. Thank you. You can sit down. So Beth,
The same. That's good.
that's good. Yeah. So Beth, when you were speaking, did that feel different from when you were singing? And the sensation came from a different part of your head, right? That's good. You're neurologically aware. So when we speak spontaneously, our brain is doing real-time construction. where it's processing words, it's ordering thoughts, it's keeping track of grammar, it's being aware of social cues and judgments, right? So when that process is happening, what can happen? We stumble. And when we stumble, we say, so we stall. But when we sing, even improvisationally, we step into a different system. Singing tends to activate right brain pathways, rhythm, emotion, musicality. It instigates memory-based systems, even if we're improvising, and it jumpstarts motor coordination, breathing, pitch, phrasing. All of this creates flow. And when we have flow, the uhs don't get in the way. We remove the uhs, the ums, and the sos. So what can we learn from singing? Here's the good news. Even if you're not a singer, you can still use simple singing techniques to help you become a more fluid speaker. For your next speech, you might want to integrate some of these techniques so that your speech does not disintegrate into uhs and sos. So sing your speech ideas aloud before you write them. You'll find a rhythm and you'll reduce filler words from the start. Hum or chant. This anchors the breath and the breathing and the phrasing and the pacing. Use melody when stuck. You can't find the next word? Hum a little placeholder. Instead of saying it buys time and makes people smile. Practice rhythmic speaking. I came here today so you could hear me say my words. So now I've reached the end, hooray. I've had my Toastmasters say, we sang, we smoked, we spoke, perhaps we smoked, we saw, and lo, no need for awkward or so. So the next time you feel stuck or stumbly, try some music, try singing your way through it. You might find that it makes you and your speech a little stronger and gives you a little bit more confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Let's see, our third evaluator is Tracy Farrell. There you are. And you're evaluating David Jones, and I don't think either one of you will need this stool, so I'm going to tuck it away. Tracy, please tell us a little bit about David's speech, what you know, and then introduce him. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today, David's speaking from the Motivational Strategy book. He's giving his icebreaker, so his speech will be 4 to 6 minutes. We all know that David's an accomplished speaker, so I don't think because it's his icebreaker, we'll need to let him go. He will be making sure that his brain is going to get those words out this early in the morning. It is 7 o'clock, so we're all working towards that. Do you know the title of his speech, Madam Toastmaster?
No, but David will tell.
Right, I'll introduce him real quick. David Jones, do something you didn't know you could do. David Jones.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Actually, my hobby is integrated into this speech. See, Rachel was my life coach. Rachel's now my friend, which is better because I don't have to pay her for advice and motivation. But Rachel's motto was, if you don't want to, you have to. And I had many I don't want tos, which mean I had a lot of I have tos. Rachel gave me great growth since I met her. She had me outside of my comfort zone, always challenging me to do things, including Toastmasters. And she didn't ask me to do Toastmasters out of inspiration. It was more of like, oh my God, you need to join Toastmasters. But that's been my journey with Toastmasters. And in other speeches, I've talked about camping. And Rachel had said to me one day, do you want to go camping with a group of my friends and I this coming weekend? And of course, I said no. That sounds horrible. That's why they make hotels. Why would I want to go sleep in the woods in a piece of plastic? But I did it. I had to. And we went to a family campsite where you just pull up, you park your car, you put up your tent, and you're done. And for me, that was a wonderful first experience, learning the process of just getting out and camping and realizing it wasn't that scary. Well, the next day we went up into the mountains and we were hiking and we're on the Appalachian Trail. And I was in awe. I had always heard about it, but I had never been there. To me, it was like the Autobahn or the Pacific Coast Highway or Route 66. I mean, the Appalachian Trail was legendary to me. And we're hiking around and we're about a mile above sea level. And I said to the group, next time we should camp right here on top of the mountain, out in the elements, away from all the amenities. And they all agreed. And sure enough, in 2 weeks, we were camping on top of that mountain. We had to go to the bathroom in the woods over there. We had to collect our water over there and filter it. We had our campsite with campfire. We're under the stars in complete darkness, and it was a wonderful experience. And that's when I fell in love with hiking and camping. Well, the next day we're hiking again, and where we were at was a beautiful view, 360 degrees. No matter where you looked, you saw mountains. And I said to the group, you see that third mountain out there? That's where we should go camping next time. Let's hike out there and camp on top of that mountain. And they all said, that sounds awesome. Why don't you do it as a solo hiker? And I was like, solo hiker? That sounds awesome. I'm going to do that. So I went out and I got my little Appalachian hiking trail book. I planned my route, and in 2 weeks, I started hiking the trail. I was going to hike out about 6 or 7 miles, set up camp, but I ended up doing 10 miles, something I never thought I could do or even imagine doing. But I camped out 10 miles, spent the night, and hiked back to my car. And I was physically exhausted. It was something I probably shouldn't have done, but I did it anyways. And as I was driving home, I was crying. No, I wasn't crying. I was thinking about why none of my friends wanted to do it or accepted my challenge to do it because it was difficult. And if Rachel would have come to me and said, you're not in the best shape, that's very strenuous. You just started hiking and camping. You're going to cramp up. You're going to have to drink a lot of water. Your feet are going to hurt from going up and down the mountains wearing boots. I might have said, you're right. Maybe I'll wait. Wait till I lose weight. Wait till all the lights turn green. But I didn't. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I just went ahead and did it and did something I didn't know I could do. And that got me thinking about the people around us, the people that support us. Are they supporting you the right way? For instance, our family and friends, they all have great intentions, but they also have a hidden agenda, an agenda to keep us near them. Because if we become too successful, we might end up moving somewhere. If we grow too much as people, we might outgrow them and leave them to a different group of friends. And the most important thing is that we need to be that person. We need to be the person that encourages our family and friends, supports them, maybe keep our opinions to ourselves, don't tell them the negative things. And if they have to fly away, that's their journey. We have to be that person. Unfortunately, most Toastmasters are those people. So go out and do something you never knew you could do before, but just don't ask other people for their opinions. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dave. Always good to hear from far away, and I love I didn't like the hybrid in the beginning, but I'm certainly glad that we're connected to people who can't be here in person. Anyway, I would like a timer's report, Steve, and I think everyone else would enjoy hearing a timer's report. You don't have numbers, is that good?
That
I said you don't have numbers with you, is that good?
numbers.
Well, times.
No.
Sounds like it's gonna be a good report.
Yeah, everybody qualified. That's simple.
That's what I was trying to say. Some of the other hobbies that have increased during COVID, watching television. Why do we watch television? Because it's convenient. It's relaxing. It's addicting, I heard, yes. We get cultural updates, learn about what's going on in somebody else's world. You can explore a multiple of genres. Yes, please collect the ballots. Yes, indeed. It's also something you can do to just relax. And now there's binging. All those series that you can just binge watch. You're like, okay, one more, and then I'm gonna get off the go. Well, just one more. Oh my gosh, they left me hanging. I gotta do one more. It's very addicting. Sports. 28% of people in the United States claim that sports is their favorite hobby. Why? Community, the thrill. You learn life skills in sports. Some people here can attest to that. I don't know much about sports. Not on my list of favorite things. However, we collect all the ballots. Okay, have evaluators had time to process? Beth, we'd like to hear from you with your evaluation of Carol Ann's speech today.
In my opinion, it's always very interesting to listen to Carol Ann. She has wonderful stories, so her storytelling just comes out. Today was a mix of humor, heartwarming, a little scary, because that's some events are a little scary. I couldn't believe how many major events you had in June. That was wonderful that you put that all together, and that was part of your title, the 6th month. I think that was very interesting. You had good events, you had some bad events, some scary events, but it was all made for a very good story. You had a few long pauses, but I think maybe it was to avoid the ums that you are concerned with, so that part of it was a good job. So just work on that a little bit. The only challenges I would like to see are maybe some more hand gestures or props to come in and tell us more about the stories. Give us a little bit more. That would help your storytelling a little bit. I'm not sure what those props would be, but everyone likes to see that. But aside from that, I always enjoy your stories. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth. Our next evaluator, Dave Licata, who is going to tell us a little bit about his thoughts from Maggie Craig's speech. Welcome up, Dave Licata. It's okay, there's no hurry. We'll give you roller skates next time. Then you won't get up here.
Steve, don't start my timing yet. Indulge me a little tiny bit because I want to get ready. In me, you see a relic of a long lamented age when masculine behavior wrote a grand, dramatic page with a sword and a rose and a cape. I'm ready now. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our guest. we can boil down this first part where the way I evaluate is, what did I like? How did that little tiny person make such a loud snap with her fingers? That I couldn't get over that. And then when the topic came up about singing, and even though Darcy had already been up here 15 times and gotten more exercise than the people in the gym so far this morning, she dashed for her guitar. It crossed your mind. So I can't think of a better way to rope us in, because like it or not, as long as there's showers, there will always be singers. Somebody asked me, I was in an audition situation, and somebody asked me, what do you do before an audition? I said, well, on my way to the speech or the audition or the performance, I make sure the windows are real tight in the car, and I sing, because nobody wants to hear me, believe me. So, but that was just a terrific thing to share with us. And I like that. Now, we get to the middle part. Where can we improve? This is one of the biggest offenders telling you about the microphone. And I've had the same moments, and I had that last week. I had trouble with the microphone. And not only does Maggie have to work on that, everybody in this room has to work on that, because we've all had that little electronic thing trip us up. We're not any strangers to it. And we have an excellent young man over there taking care of our microphones and our electronics, but we still can do better, even though that gentleman works very hard on this electronic end of our presentation. So what we loved at the end was that she listed the benefits of what she wished to share with us. She presented it in a way that was unusual, introduced this idea of singing, and it's going to help us. It's going to help each and every one of us. And at the risk of stating the obvious, I said it again to myself last night. I was in a situation where I was doing my usual recruit, join Toastmasters. This is an extraordinary club. And if you're in sales and you got to convince people to do stuff your way and you don't join this club, it's crazy. So Maggie, we're so glad that we see your face. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dave. And Tracy, there you are, front and center. Would you please share an evaluation of Dave Jones? And he's sitting right next to you. So if you turn to, let's see, turn to
There
your
he is.
right.
Right. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today we heard from David Jones, and he is always an exceptional speaker. And a lot of that is his preparation. I watched him before his speech, and then he was preparing. He was standing up straight, kind of practicing on his breathing, and he might have even been singing. I don't know, but he was really preparing himself for the speech. He did a great job illustrating his speech through stories and examples. And I always think that stories enhance a speech. It really tells us what's going on. As far as motivational strategies, David, you are the epitome of motivation, whether it be traveling and hiking, your Toastmasters accomplishments, and those big, lofty goals that you have, even writing books. And now you're going to be doing motivational speaking. He stood up, he had great gestures, he had great eye contact, the cadence of his speech, they were all fantastic. one of the things I would have done, you had a little bit of extra time, so you could have expanded on your stories or one of those examples of your accomplishments and just enhance the speech a little bit more and give us more opportunity on how you're using those examples as motivation for others. And a lot of the hurdles you overcame when you went through those things. My favorite line in your speech is, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I could do. And that was in the middle of the speech. I think it should have been at the end of the speech, just to say, I didn't know what I could do, and then end it with, and you can do the same, something along those lines. I could enhance it a little bit if I had more time to think about it. But I honestly think this is a great path for you. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your motivational strategies and learning more from you. And I wish you the best of luck as time goes on. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tracy. And Steve is diligently writing over there. And we will ask him to come up and share whether or not, the evaluators' times, and let us know if they qualified. The 3 excellent evaluators.
Yep. This is the last time today you'll have to listen to me.
Yeah.
All 3 qualified. 2 with the help of the buffer, but they qualified. That's all that's important.
Thank you, Steve. And Dave pointed out Len for a moment, and I want to just express such gratitude. We would not have Zoom. We would not have things being recorded. He's the man behind the curtain, like in what? Right. Mark II. The Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. And Lynn, would you come up and tell us something about your favorite hobby, whether this is a hobby for you or if you have a great hobby? I know you have a lot of interesting things. Love to hear from you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm a man of many hobbies. I could be here all day if I describe just a portion of them. But my latest one, something I'm excited about, is studying AI, the different large language models and different specific applications for certain AIs and the pitfalls and the advantages of using those. The age is here. It's thrust upon us, and we can either adopt it or we can just watch it happen in front of us. So I'm excited about that. Always looking for new things to bury myself in. Thank you.
Thanks, Len. And I'm going to ask Sylvia as our general evaluator, if you will please call for reports and give us an overall evaluation of the meeting. Sylvia Baptiste.
Wow, Nancy, thank you. We started with some hiccups this morning. Some of the roles needed to be filled. And this happens, and we'll probably roll into this a little more with going on Zoom 100% for the next month and a half, 2 months. It happens, and people go on vacations, unexpected things come up. But Nancy, I think if you had an agenda to give to your people, I did hear a comment from someone that said they needed an agenda, they didn't know they were up next. That might have made the meeting run smoother. And you would see in earlier that you needed roles to be filled. Don't be shy of emailing us 5, 6 times and say, hey, I need, because people do step up as it happened today. Kate stepped up. I was asked to do another role. That's no problem. We like doing that. The information that you gave us regarding hobbies, like book reading and during COVID, I thought that was placed at the perfect time because you gave the evaluators extra time to do their evaluation. And I also like, Nancy, and we do forget about our tech guys. We kind of leave them out at times. that you asked Len to come up and talk about his hobbies. As for our evaluators, Beth, well, actually, all three of our evaluators had the information beforehand, and they all introduced their speakers. It was really nice. They had the titles, the time, what path they were working from. It made it the introduction to their speakers very flawless, I guess. Is that a right way of saying it? That probably isn't. Made it flawless. I didn't need very in there. Grammarian, you could correct me later. Carol Ann's had a nice ending, and Beth pointed that out. She had the sandwich approach, good suggestions, and ended her evaluation on a positive note. David and Maggie, they're a team. David also, like I said, had all the information. I loved that Maggie started with the song and David elaborated on that and how to, and also David did a quote or a poem at the beginning, which drew us into his evaluation, which was nice. It drew me in anyway. And a great suggestion about using the mic. We do have a problem with the mic. I like to see maybe if we get rid of the mic off the lectern and use the lapel mics, if we could get a lot of them, I don't know. And it just seemed people would use gestures then, which brings us to my third evaluator. Tracy used a lot of gestures. She demonstrated how David sat up, did some breathing, great suggestions. Also the sandwich approach and how she used a line. She was really listening to him, that she quoted this line in the middle of his speech to move it to the end, and she felt it would make the speech better. Other than that, I thought the meeting went well. I do enjoy Thursday mornings, listening to everyone's speech and table topics. And now for roles, I am going to ask Mary to come up and test us on our listening skills. Mary?
She's got that teacher look on her face. She's been listening well.
I have 4 questions. What national park does Dr. Gerald want to travel to?
A lot of them.
Something, they said something in Minnesota. Voyagers National Park. What year did Carol Ann graduate? 1965? What was David Jones' final message at the end for everybody to go out and try something new? And what was one of David Jones's hobbies? Hiking.
How did we do, Mary?
Good, but I told Eric I have one final announcement and he'll call me up probably.
Okay. Oh, it sounded like we had some good listening today.
Kate is our WAG. Is that what Kate doing, all 3 or 2? Kate, I
WAG and ah. So what did she
WAG
call
and
it?
ah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, wah, wah. I'll take care of the word and master report, and Darcy's on deck as grammarian. I was at another club that did a report of the Ozanums like this, and I really liked it. I heard less than 5 uhs or ums. Gerald, less than 5. Eric, less than 5. Jill, less than 5. Beth, less than 5. Tracy, less than 5. Maggie, less than 5. Nancy, less than 5. Dave Licata, less than 5. Steve, less than 5. Avis, less than 5. Sylvia, Less than 5.
Oh.
Carol Ann and I are really good at interjecting lots of odds and ums. I am so proud of you. Your entire first half, none. And I thought, oh, she's really working on this. And then more than 5. It just happens. When we're getting into storytelling and so on, I'm sure I had more than 5. I heard none from Mary, Joe, Len, and David Jones. Great work, everybody. And the word master report, please continue using integrate, disintegrate, integration, disintegration. I heard it repeatedly from some more than others. Everyone say integration. Integration. What we do in this club every week and all year long is we integrate a lot of different personalities, a lot of different beliefs, a lot of different perspectives into a cohesive whole. And our group, I love to see. Thank you so much for bringing that integration and keep it going. All right, now I'll pass it back to you.
And our grammarian, how did we integrate correct grammar into our speeches and
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So for our let's start over again. For our grammarian report today, got the good, I've got the bad, I've got some interesting. And the one thing that I really liked was that it started out with thank you, it ended with thank you. We should say thank you more often. I like when people give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Kate, was mentioned in the beginning. And then Dave Licata gave thanks to Len for all his hard work with the technology. And then Tracy gave a compliment, but I was a little confused on the pronunciation. I've always pronounced it the word epitome. You are the epitome of, which is an excellent example of. So I wasn't sure whether that was pronounced correctly, but tomato, tomato, potato, potato. So some other good things. Let's see. I like the hobbly knee phrase. It gives us a very good visual. June is busting out all over with flowers, and I'm sure everyone just imagine beautiful flowers in their heads. A couple of bad ones. The deer isn't eating everything. Deer is more of a plural. The deer aren't eating everything. I think that maybe would have sounded a little bit better. A few run-on sentences, this and this and this and this and this and this. Cut it down to just a couple of ands. Neurologically aware, that was a kind of a nice phrase. When you're stuck or stumbly, I like that phrase. And then of course, from David Jones' speeches, I don't want to becomes I have to. That's a good mindset to have. I didn't know what I didn't know. I like that. Another bad one was I heard cause instead of because. I like Dave's poem that he warmed up with. That was pretty awesome. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. And as long as there are showers, there will always be singers. That's a nice little phrase. So there we go. The good, the bad, the interesting. And don't forget to say thank you a lot. Madam Toastmaster.
thank you a lot. And now our Toastmaster president, outgoing president, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But I was trying to say whether you were still in office until the 30th. So that's what I was trying. Welcome back. Do you want to take it from here?
No, you can stand up here. You can announce our winners as well.
Okay, wait. First, I want to say I had the agenda ready to print up. My printer decided it wasn't going to work, and I emailed it to Office Max, and when I got there, they had just closed. So, and they weren't open this morning, so I really apologize because that is very important to me to have the agenda also. And I will let Eric take it from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, you can applause. Well, I can do this. Another helpful tip there. Our best God bless you, Dave. Our best table topics this morning. Sorry, we don't have any ribbons, but we need to order some more. But our best table topics winner today is Dr. Gerald Stevens. Our best evaluator this morning is Tracy Farrell. I know she had to jump up, but congratulations to her. And our best speaker this morning is David Jones. Congratulations to David. And who wants to draw? Nancy, would you like to draw for the 50-50?
Last three numbers, 984.
The lucky winner.
It's Margot again.
Margot. 3 weeks in a row for Margot.
I guess everybody should submit it when they pay their dues and just be done with it, huh?
Before we wrap up the meeting this morning, I know there are two announcements, so I will start with our district director, Avis Brody, to come on up and share what she has to say. Come, please help me welcome back Avis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Two really quick things. The new officers need to attend club officer training if you haven't already. Wow. Oh my gosh. I am so proud of you too. Cross that one off my to-do list. All right. And the other thing is, if you've ever been a club president, the next logical step is to be an area director. Yes. Area 11, your area, needs an area director. There is none who has stepped forward this year, for this year. Area 11, you guys. UB West wins. They may have 8 members. No. Amherst Chamber, they I think have 9 members. And Advanced Toastmasters of Rochester, which is actually kind of in Rochester and only meets online and also has 8 members. In other words, okay, nobody's recording me, right? In other words, you have 4 clubs and, oh yeah, and there's Moog also, which is moving out of Area 11. So none of those clubs are going to be putting forward an area director. You guys, you've got it. You've got the spirit. You've got everything required to be a great area director. So I'm not going to pick on anybody. Also, you don't have, you can do it more than once. So if you've already done it, you know what to do. So, but don't talk to me, talk to Jillian Sheldon, your incoming district director. So that's it. Thank you. Oh yeah, and it was a pleasure to be here.
I would like to say real quick, thank you, Office, and Jillian and Brianna for leading our district this year. Let's give all of them a round of applause for their excellent work this year. Thank you so much. Mary, do you have an announcement to make? Okay, go ahead.
So my baseball team on July 16th, we're doing a Chevetta's chicken barbecue at Rayleigh, 3 to 6. I'm just trying to advertise.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Before I invite Joe up, I just want to say real quick, this has been an honor and a privilege again to serve as your club president. I want to say thank you to the officers that are in this room, and some of them are absent today, but I want to say thank you all very much for your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment to this club, and it's been greatly appreciated. So thank you all so much. Let's give everybody a round of applause all around. So with that, as the outgoing president, I'm going to hand it over as the gavel to our incoming president, Joe Budnick. Joe.
Thank you, Eric. Do we have any more announcements or anyone like to say anything else? Zoom next week. Beth is Toastmaster. I look forward to it. So everyone have a good day. Congratulations to our winners, and I look forward to the coming year. And I declare this meeting adjourned.